So often when we talk about dog training, we frame it as trying to, fix a broken animal. But today, we're shifting that paradigm completely. Welcome to this explainer. We're going to decode the actual mechanics of canine behavior. We're learning how to translate human expectations into a language that a very confused, eager-to-please dog can actually understand. And, ultimately, we're going to give you the tools to build real, lasting trust and safety.
Okay, let's dive right into this because if you look at it from a dog's perspective, human behavior must seem entirely contradictory. I mean, think about it. We literally throw a party when they chew on a brightly colored squeaky toy, right? But then we absolutely lose our minds when they decide to chew on a premium leather shoe. To a dog, that expensive leather is basically just the ultimate premium chew toy. This disconnect is especially true for an adopted or rescued dog. They carry the invisible weight of past trauma from shelter environments, and our confusing human rules just amplify that tenfold. Empathy is absolutely where everything begins.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We're looking at 5 key areas: the empathy hook, biological communication, which is basically potty training, the vocabulary of obedience, translating distress, and finally, the lifelong bond. Stick around, because by the end of this comprehensive masterclass, you'll have the exact blueprints to build a harmonious life with your dog.
All right, Section 1, the empathy hook, bridging the communication gap. Grasping your dog's perspective is the absolute baseline for all successful behavioral management. If we don't understand how they see the world, we simply can't teach them how to navigate ours.
And this brilliantly illustrates the disconnect. We bring dogs into this massive, highly stimulating outdoor world full of amazing smells and sights, but then we expect them to walk in this perfect military-style march on a restrictive 6-foot leash. What we humans frequently interpret as stubbornness or outright defiance is more often than not just profound canine confusion. They're operating on natural instinct while we're operating on societal rules. Bridging that gap is our job, not theirs.
Moving on to Section 2. Biological communication, foolproof potty training. Once we have empathy, we can establish this first line of communication. I want you to completely reframe how you think about house training. It's not just a chore, and it is definitely not a punishment. It is the primary framework for setting boundaries between you and your dog.
So, the crucial point here is having a rigid, non-negotiable protocol. First, you've got to read those physiological precursors. The pacing, the circling, that intense ground sniffing, or just wandering off. The millisecond you see that, transition them outside on a leash. Now, the leash isn't a restriction here. It just ensures you are physically present to deliver a calm potty cue mid-act, which builds that cognitive connection. Then, you unleash high-value rewards the absolute moment they finish. If they don't go after 15 minutes, bring them in and place them in a crate for 15 to 30 minutes before trying again. Prevention is literally everything.
Now, if you're using a crate as a biological boundary, it requires strict limits. For an adult dog, 4 hours is the absolute maximum time in a crate. For a young puppy, it's just 2 to 3 hours. A crate leverages their natural instinct to keep a den clean. But the moment you weaponize it as some kind of isolation cell, you just breed resentment. Exceeding these limits forces biological failure, compromises their bladder control, and shatters their trust in what's supposed to be a safe space.
And look, inevitable mistakes will happen. When they do, you have to ditch that archaic, angry human urge to yell. An accident represents a lapse in our supervision, not canine defiance. Just quietly remove the dog so they don't even witness the cleanup, because honestly, even negative attention reinforces behavior. Standard household cleaners fail to neutralize the underlying pheromone markers, and dogs instinctually eliminate where they smell past waste. You have to eradicate the enzyme with proper cleaners, and that prevents the repeat offense.
All right, Section 3, the vocabulary of obedience, the 5 basic commands. Once we have those biological boundaries set, we need a shared language. Formal obedience isn't just a neat party trick, it's the essential vocabulary required to seamlessly integrate a dog into human society so we can communicate clearly and keep them safe.
Now, what's really interesting here is how simple the physical mechanics are when using the lure and reward method. Take come, the single most vital safety command you can teach. Use it 2-person recall and you never, ever scold them when they come to you, otherwise you're literally teaching them that returning to you is dangerous. For sitting down, you basically act as a magnet. Guide their nose up and back with a treat to lower their rear, or draw it straight down to the floor between their paws. For stay, you just pair the verbal cue with a clear, flat, open palm signal, building up the distance gradually. But the ultimate test of this vocabulary is heel. To eradicate leash pulling, you're going to use the tree method. It's exactly what it sounds like. The exact microsecond you feel tension on that leash,
You freeze completely. You become a tree. Movement only resumes when the leash goes completely slack. This incredible micro-action teaches the dog that a tight collar stalls all forward progress. It perfectly translates your boundary into their language. It takes a ton of patience on your part, for sure, but it offers absolute clarity for them.
Which brings us to Section 4, translating distress, managing psychological problems. Even with a perfect vocabulary, dogs experience emotional turmoil. Translating that distress is arguably the most challenging part of behavioral management. It is so vital to understand that destructive habits are rarely just bad behavior. They are almost always symptoms of intense boredom, a lack of physical exercise, or deep emotional distress.
Let's take separation anxiety, for example. We have to completely separate this from the idea of vindictive behavior. A chewed-up door frame isn't a dog being angry because you left for work. It is the fallout of a deep-seated panic response triggered by your departure. By recognizing this internal panic, we foster empathy rather than frustration, which is absolutely crucial because it dictates exactly how we fix the problem.
To alleviate this panic, you use systematic desensitization. You place your dog in a secure den about 15 minutes before you leave, and then leave for micro-intervals, literally just 2 to 5 minutes, to build up their baseline of independence. But the ultimate irony here, we humans usually cause the anxiety with our big, dramatic goodbyes. You must completely neutralize your own emotional drama. When you return, ignore them for the first several minutes. Projects an aura of calm, boring stability so they realize your coming and going is a total non-event.
Let's see how this empathetic approach applies to other everyday chaotic moments. Barking at windows, just block their visual access. Barking out in the yard, bring them inside. Never yell at them, because to a dog, you yelling just sounds like you're barking right along with them. For chronic jumping, don't push them away. That's basically an invitation to wrestle. Just turn your back and become totally invisible until all 4 paws are back on the floor. For destructive chewing or digging, don't scold their natural instincts, redirect them. Provide treat-stuffed puzzle toys, or give them a designated outdoor sandbox. It's all about thoughtful redirection.
Now I need to be incredibly clear on this next point. Aggression is a critical liability, not just a quirk. Whether it's driven by fear, lack of socialization, or resource guarding, it requires the immediate intervention of a certified canine behaviorist. You must establish a strict, nothing in life is free protocol where the dog has to sit before receiving any food or attention. Never, under any circumstances, try to handle aggression alone or engage in physical confrontations. Trying to manhandle an aggressive animal inevitably escalates into defensive biting. Don't risk it.
Okay, finally, Section 5, the lifelong bond, building canine trust. Everything we've talked about leads right here. Transforming a rescue or adopted dog into a well-mannered companion is not a weekend project. Formal obedience and socialization are just the foundation of a much deeper, enduring commitment. Building this bond requires a relentless prioritization of reward-based methods. It means completely avoiding force-based techniques that just fracture the trust you're working so hard to build. It means committing to structured, daily neighborhood walks to safely expose them to diverse people and environments, proving to them over and over that the world is a secure place. True companionship demands immense patience, an unwavering environment, and absolute consistency. Every single day, through all the confusion and the inevitable slip-ups, your dog is desperately trying to figure out what you want. They are trying their best to learn your complex human language. So the real question is, your dog is trying to learn your language. Are you willing to put in the time, the empathy, and the structure to learn theirs? Apply these blueprints, exercise some serious patience, and you will unlock an absolutely incredible, rewarding bond with your companion. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.